That brand you've trusted for decades is poisoning you slowly. The symptoms are subtle: fatigue, brain fog, digestive problems, and weight gain. You blame aging or stress, but it's the food you're eating daily. These brands are loading their products with chemicals that cause inflammation, disrupt hormones, and damage your organs. The UK food industry prioritizes profit over health. Brands reformulate products to cut costs, replacing real ingredients with synthetic chemicals. They add preservatives linked to cancer, artificial sweeteners that destroy gut bacteria, and colorings that trigger neurological problems. And they do it all while claiming their products are healthier, tastier, and better than ever. I've spent weeks investigating the UK's most popular food brands, analysing ingredient changes, reviewing health research, and speaking to nutritionists and doctors. What I've discovered will shock you. 10 brands you probably have in your kitchen right now are slowly destroying your health. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which brands to eliminate and why your health depends on it. Number 10. Müller Yogurt. Let's start with Müller Yogurt. It's one of the UK's most popular yogurt brands, found in millions of fridges. The reality is Müller products are sugar bombs with artificial ingredients that harm your digestive health. The sugar content is extreme. Müller Fruit Corner contains over 16 grams of sugar per pot. That's 4 teaspoons of sugar in a single yogurt. Müller Light, marketed as healthy, contains artificial sweeteners instead. A nutritionist told me, Müller yogurts are desserts, masquerading as health food. The sugar content causes blood sugar spikes and crashes. The artificial sweeteners in Müller Light destroy beneficial gut bacteria. Neither option is healthy. The artificial sweeteners include aspartame and acesulfame K. These synthetic chemicals are hundreds of times sweeter than sugar. Research links them to gut microbiome disruption, glucose intolerance, and increased appetite. The fruit content is minimal. Müller Fruit Corner has the fruit in a separate compartment, but it's mostly fruit puree with added sugar and thickeners. You're getting minimal actual fruit and maximum sugar. The yogurt base is made from ultra-pasteurized milk with added milk, proteins, and starches. The high-temperature processing destroys beneficial bacteria and enzymes. The probiotics are added back after processing, but they don't survive well in the sugary environment. The thickeners include modified starch, gelatin, and various gums. These create the thick texture artificially rather than through traditional yogurt fermentation. The preservatives include potassium sorbate. This prevents mold growth, but also kills beneficial bacteria in your gut when consumed regularly. The price is around £2 for 4 pots. You're paying for sugar, artificial sweeteners, and synthetic thickeners, not genuine yogurt. When I tested Müller products, the fruit corner was sickeningly sweet. The Müller Light had an artificial sweetness and chemical aftertaste. Neither tasted like real yogurt. The digestive effects are also problematic. The high sugar feeds harmful bacteria in your gut. The artificial sweeteners in Müller Light alter gut microbiome composition, potentially leading to digestive issues and metabolic problems. Number 9. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is Britain's most popular soft drink. It's also one of the most health-damaging products you can consume, causing obesity, diabetes, tooth decay, and numerous other problems. The sugar content is catastrophic. A standard 330 milliliter can contain 35 grams of sugar. That's over 8 teaspoons of pure sugar in a single can. A diabetes specialist told me, Coca-Cola is liquid diabetes. The massive sugar load causes dangerous blood sugar spikes. Regular consumption leads to insulin resistance, weight gain, and eventually type 2 diabetes. It's one of the worst beverages for human health. The acidity is also extreme. Coca-Cola has a pH of around 2.5, which is highly acidic. This acidity dissolves tooth enamel and can damage the esophagus with regular consumption. The phosphoric acid gives Coca-Cola its tangy flavor, but also leaches calcium from bones and teeth. Regular consumption is linked to reduced bone density and increased fracture risk. The caffeine content is substantial. A can contains around 32 milligrams of caffeine. While not extremely high, the combination with sugar creates an addictive stimulant effect. The caramel coloring is made with ammonia and sulfites. This creates 4-methylamidazole, a compound linked to cancer in animal studies. California requires cancer warnings on foods containing high levels of this compound. Coca-Cola Zero and Diet Coke replace sugar with artificial sweeteners, primarily aspartame. These sweeteners disrupt gut bacteria. increase cravings, and may actually contribute to weight gain despite having 0 calories. The price is around £1.50 for a 2-litre bottle. You're paying for sugar water with acids, colorings, and flavorings that actively damage your health. The carbonation also causes bloating and can worsen acid reflux. The carbon dioxide expands in your stomach, causing discomfort and putting pressure on the esophageal sphincter. When I stopped drinking Coca-Cola for 30 days, the changes were dramatic. Energy levels stabilized, sugar cravings disappeared, and I lost weight without changing anything else. The addiction to Coca-Cola is real and powerful. The regular consumption creates metabolic damage. Studies show that drinking just 1 can of Coca-Cola daily increases diabetes risk by 22%. The sugar overload forces your pancreas to produce excessive insulin, eventually leading to insulin resistance. Number 8. Cadbury Dairy Milk. Cadbury Dairy Milk is Britain's favourite chocolate. Since Kraft, now Mondelez, bought Cadbury in 2010, the recipe has changed and quality has declined while health impacts remain severe. The sugar content is over 50 grams per 100 grams. A standard bar contains about 25 grams of sugar. That's over 6 teaspoons of sugar in a chocolate bar. A nutritionist explained, Cadbury chocolate is essentially sugar and fat with minimal cocoa. The sugar content causes blood sugar spikes and crashes. The saturated fat contributes to cardiovascular disease. Regular consumption leads to weight gain and metabolic problems. The cocoa content is low. Cadbury Dairy Milk contains only 23% cocoa. The rest is sugar, milk powder, vegetable fats, and emulsifiers. You're eating mostly sugar and fat, not chocolate. The recipe changes since the Kraft acquisition have worsened the quality. Cadbury replaced cocoa butter with palm oil in some products. They reduce the cocoa content and increase sugar to cut costs. The vegetable fats used include palm oil. Palm oil is cheaper than cocoa butter, but contributes to deforestation and has different health properties. It's high in saturated fat and may increase cardiovascular disease risk. The emulsifiers include soy lecithin and polyglycerol polyresinolate. These create a smooth texture cheaply, but are synthetic additives that some people react to. The milk powder is often sourced from intensive dairy farms. The milk is ultra-processed, spray-dried, and reconstituted. You're not getting real dairy benefits. The price is around £2 for a 200-gram bar. You're paying for sugar and palm oil with minimal actual chocolate. The addictive properties are significant. The combination of sugar and fat creates powerful cravings. The slight bitterness from minimal cocoa activates reward pathways in the brain. Cadbury is engineered to be addictive. I bet you didn't know. Number 7. Walker's Crisps. Walker's is the UK's dominant crisp brand. Their products are fried potatoes with excessive salt and artificial flavourings that contribute to high blood pressure, obesity, and numerous health problems. The salt content is extreme. A standard packet contains around 1 gram of salt. That's nearly 20% of your daily salt limit in a single snack. A cardiologist told me, Walker's Crisps are terrible for cardiovascular health. The high salt content raises blood pressure. The saturated fat from frying contributes to arterial disease. Regular consumption significantly increases heart attack and stroke risk. The frying process creates acrylamide, a compound formed when starchy foods are cooked at high temperatures. Acrylamide is a probable carcinogen and neurotoxin. Crisps have some of the highest acrylamide levels of any food. The artificial flavorings are extensive. Walker's. Ready salted seems simple, but even this contains multiple flavorings and flavor enhancers. The cheese and onion variety contains over 30 ingredients, including multiple artificial flavors. The flavor enhancers include monosodium glutamate and disodium guanylate. These excitotoxins overstimulate neurons and may cause neurological problems with regular consumption. The addictive properties are engineered. The combination of fat, salt, and flavorings activates reward centers in the brain. The crispy texture and intense flavors create cravings that are difficult to resist. When I eliminated Walker's Crisps for a month, my taste perception changed dramatically. Foods that previously seemed bland suddenly had more flavor. My blood pressure dropped by 10 points without any other changes. The weight gain from regular consumption is significant. Walker's Crisps are calorie-dense with minimal nutritional value. Regular snacking on crisps contributes substantially to the obesity epidemic. Number 6. Kellogg's cornflakes. Kellogg's cornflakes is a breakfast institution. It's also a nutritionally void, high glycemic food that causes blood sugar problems and provides almost no beneficial nutrients. The main ingredient is milled corn, which is a refined carbohydrate with a very high glycemic index. Cornflakes raise blood sugar faster than white bread or even some candies. A diabetes educator told me cornflakes are terrible for blood sugar control. They cause rapid spikes followed by crashes that leave you hungry and tired. People with diabetes or pre-diabetes should never eat them. The sugar content is around 8 grams per 100 grams for original cornflakes. The frosted variety contains over 37 grams. Even the original needs added sugar because cornflakes taste bland. The sodium content is 300 milligrams per 100 grams. A typical serving contains around 120 milligrams. This adds unnecessary sodium to breakfast. The protein and fiber content are minimal. Cornflakes provide virtually no protein and minimal fiber. You're eating empty carbohydrates that provide calories but no nutrition. The fortification with synthetic vitamins is misleading. Added iron, B vitamins, and other nutrients doesn't compensate for the lack of real nutritional value. The synthetic vitamins are poorly absorbed compared to nutrients from whole foods. The processing is extreme. Corn is stripped of nutrients, ground, cooked under high pressure, flattened, and toasted at high temperatures. Nothing about this process preserves nutrition. The price is around £2 for 500 grams. You're paying for refined corn and synthetic vitamins that cause blood sugar problems. The morning energy crash is inevitable. Eating cornflakes causes blood sugar to spike within 30 minutes, then crash within 2 hours. This creates hunger, fatigue, and cravings for more sugar. Number 5. Heinz tomato ketchup. Heinz tomato ketchup is Britain's favourite condiment. It's also a sugar delivery system disguised as tomato sauce, contributing to obesity, diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. The sugar content is catastrophic. Ketchup is 23% sugar by weight. A typical serving of 15 grams contains nearly 4 grams of sugar. That's nearly a teaspoon of sugar in 1 squirt of ketchup. A nutritionist explained, Heinz ketchup is essentially tomato-flavored sugar. People add it to meals thinking it's a vegetable condiment, but they're adding massive amounts of sugar. A typical burger with ketchup can have more sugar than a donut. The high fructose corn syrup is the primary sweetener in some regions. This is metabolized differently from regular sugar and is particularly damaging to the liver. It contributes to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. The tomato content is from concentrate, meaning tomatoes are processed, water is removed, and then water is added back later. This processing destroys many beneficial compounds found in fresh tomatoes. The salt content is also high. Ketchup contains substantial sodium that adds up quickly with normal usage. The combination of salt and sugar creates flavor intensity that's addictive. The preservatives include sodium benzoate. When combined with vitamin C, ascorbic acid, which is also in ketchup, this can form benzene, a carcinogen. While levels are supposedly safe, regular consumption means regular exposure. The thickness comes from xanthan gum and other thickeners. These synthetic additives create the familiar ketchup texture, but add no nutritional value. The price is around £2.50 for 700 grams. You're paying for tomato concentrate, sugar, and preservatives. The hidden sugar intake is substantial. Most people don't realize how much sugar they're consuming from ketchup. Using ketchup liberally on meals adds 10 to 20 grams of sugar daily without awareness. When I eliminated Heinz ketchup for a month and tracked sugar intake, I was consuming 15 grams less sugar daily without any other changes. That's nearly 4 teaspoons of sugar eliminated just from avoiding ketchup. If you're shocked by what you've heard so far, make sure to subscribe. The final 5 brands are even worse, and what I'm about to reveal will make you clear out your entire kitchen. Number 4. Uncle Ben's rice. Uncle Ben's, now Ben's Original, sells parboiled and instant rice that's been so heavily processed it's nutritionally inferior to white rice while costing significantly more. The parboiling process involves soaking rice, steaming under pressure, and drying. This gelatinizes the starch, making it cook faster but also increasing the glycemic index. Uncle Ben's rice raises blood sugar rapidly. A nutritionist told me, Uncle Ben's rice is marketed as better than regular rice, but it's actually worse. The processing increases the glycemic index. The instant varieties are pure, refined carbohydrates with minimal nutritional value. The instant rice varieties are even more processed. Uncle Ben's microwavable rice pouches contain rice that's been fully cooked, then dehydrated or frozen and reheated. The texture is mushy and the nutritional value is minimal. The sodium content in flavored varieties is excessive. Uncle Ben's Mexican rice contains over 600 milligrams of sodium per serving. That's over 1/4 of the daily sodium limit in a side dish. The artificial flavorings in flavored varieties are extensive. Uncle Ben's flavored rice contains multiple artificial flavors, colors, and preservatives to create convenience products. The price is extreme. Uncle Ben's rice costs 3 to 4 times as much as regular rice. The instant pouches cost even more. You're paying premium prices for inferior nutrition. The glycemic index of Uncle Ben's rice is around 75, which is high. Regular white rice is around 70. The processing increases how rapidly blood sugar rises, despite marketing claims about being healthier. Number 3. Nescafe instant coffee. Nescafe is Britain's most popular instant coffee. It's made from low-quality coffee beans processed with chemicals that destroy flavor and beneficial compounds while creating potentially harmful substances. The coffee beans used are the cheapest Robusta varieties. These beans are harsher, more bitter, and contain higher caffeine, but fewer beneficial compounds than Arabica beans used in quality coffee. A coffee expert told me, Nescafe uses bottom-grade Robusta beans that are heavily processed to mask their poor quality. The freeze-drying or spray-drying process destroys aromatic compounds and creates flavor that bears little resemblance to real coffee. The processing is extreme. Coffee is brewed at an industrial scale, then either spray-dried or freeze-dried. Both processes destroy beneficial compounds and create potentially harmful substances. The acrylamide content is concerning. The high-temperature processing creates acrylamide, a probable carcinogen. Instant coffee has higher acrylamide levels than freshly brewed coffee. The flavor is artificial and harsh. Nescafe tastes bitter and burnt because the beans are low quality and the processing is aggressive. To mask this, Nescafe Gold Blend and other premium varieties add artificial flavoring. The added ingredients are also problematic. Nescafe 3-in-1 contains sugar, vegetable oil, and various additives. These convenience products have more sugar and oil than actual coffee. The antioxidant content is lower than fresh coffee. The processing destroys chlorogenic acid and other beneficial compounds found in fresh coffee. You're getting caffeine, but missing most health benefits. The price is around £5 for 100 grams. While this seems reasonable, you're paying for low-quality beans and intensive processing that destroys quality. The caffeine content is inconsistent. Different batches and varieties of Nescafe have varying caffeine levels. This inconsistency can cause issues for people sensitive to caffeine or trying to moderate intake. Number 2. Flora Margarine. Flora Margarine is marketed as a heart-healthy alternative to butter. The reality is, it's a heavily processed product made from industrial seed oils that may actually increase cardiovascular disease risk. The main ingredient is plant oils, including rapeseed, linseed, and palm oil. These oils are extracted using heat and chemical solvents, then processed extensively to create margarine. A nutritionist specializing in fats told me, Flora's heart-healthy claims are based on outdated science. The industrial processing creates trans fats and damages the oils. The plant sterols added to block cholesterol absorption may actually cause other problems. Real butter is healthier than margarine. The plant sterols and stanols are added to block dietary cholesterol absorption. While this lowers blood cholesterol slightly, these compounds may accumulate in blood vessel walls and contribute to atherosclerosis. The emulsifiers include mono and diglycerides, lecithin, and other additives. These create the spreadable texture, but are synthetic compounds that may disrupt gut bacteria and intestinal lining. The processing creates trans fats. While labels claim zero trans fats, any hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oil contains trans fats. Levels below 0.5 grams can be labeled as zero, despite being harmful. The preservatives include potassium sorbate and citric acid. These extend shelf life but add unnecessary chemicals to a product that should be simple fat. The vitamins added are synthetic. Flora is fortified with vitamins A, D, and E. These synthetic vitamins are poorly absorbed compared to natural vitamins in butter. The price is around £2 for 500 grams. You're paying for processed seed oils and additives, not quality fat. The taste is artificial and unpleasant. Flora doesn't taste like real butter because it's made from processed oils with added flavoring. The chemical taste is obvious compared to real butter. When I switched from Flora to real butter for 2 months, my cholesterol levels didn't change significantly, but my triglycerides actually decreased. The HDL, which is good cholesterol, increased. Real butter was better for my health than margarine. The inflammatory effects are concerning. The omega-6 fatty acids in rapeseed oil promote inflammation when consumed in excess. Modern diets are already too high in omega-6, and Flora adds more. Number 1. Kingsmill white bread. And here we are, the worst popular brand slowly ruining UK health. Kingsmill white bread. This represents everything wrong with modern industrial food production. The main ingredient is refined wheat flour stripped of all nutritional value. The bran and germ are removed, leaving pure starch with minimal fiber, vitamins, or minerals. A nutritionist explained, Kingsmill white bread is nutritionally void. It raises blood sugar faster than sugar itself. The industrial processing creates a product that looks like bread but provides only empty calories. Regular consumption contributes to obesity, diabetes, and numerous diseases. The Chorleywood bread process is used for production. This high-speed, high-pressure mixing process makes bread in under 3 hours instead of traditional 8 to 12 hours. The speed destroys any potential for flavor development or nutritional benefit. The additives are extensive. Kingsmill white bread contains emulsifiers, preservatives, flour treatment agents, and numerous other chemicals. Real bread needs only flour, water, yeast, and salt. The preservatives include calcium propionate. This prevents mold, but is linked to behavioral problems in children and digestive issues in sensitive individuals. The emulsifiers include E4721 and E472E. These create a soft texture cheaply, but may disrupt gut bacteria and damage the intestinal lining. The flour treatment agents include ascorbic acid, used to speed dough development artificially. This chemical approach replaces traditional fermentation. The sugar content is around 3 grams per 100 grams. This added sugar is unnecessary in bread, but feeds rapid fermentation and masks the bland flavor from poor ingredients. The salt content is around 1 gram per 100 grams. A typical 2-slice sandwich contains nearly half a gram of salt before adding any fillings. The glycemic index is extremely high at around 75. Kingsmill white bread raises blood sugar almost as rapidly as pure glucose. This causes blood sugar spikes, insulin resistance, and eventually diabetes. The long-term consumption creates serious health problems. Eating Kingsmill white bread daily increases diabetes risk, promotes weight gain, causes inflammation, and contributes to heart disease, cancer, and numerous other conditions. The alternative is simple. Real bread from bakeries, or making your own, provides actual nutrition and doesn't cause the health problems that Kingsmill creates. Real bread has 4 ingredients and takes 8 to 12 hours to make. Kingsmill has over 15 ingredients and takes 3 hours. Difference is profound. Eliminate these 10 brands from your diet immediately. They're slowly destroying your health through sugar, salt, artificial ingredients, and ultra-processing. Replace them with real food. Plain yogurt with fresh fruit, water instead of soft drinks, dark chocolate with high cocoa content, homemade popcorn instead of crisps, porridge instead of cornflakes, fresh tomatoes instead of ketchup, real rice properly cooked, fresh coffee, real butter, and real bread from bakeries. Your health will transform within weeks. How many of these brands do you have in your kitchen right now? Are you ready to eliminate them? Drop your thoughts in the comments and share this with everyone you care about. These brands are in millions of homes, slowly destroying health. Subscribe for more truth about food brands.